We're about to go on an airplane to Rwanda.
I remember we almost missed the flight.
So excited.
It took us 8 hours to fly to London.
All night long.
We landed in London the next morning.
We're halfway there.
Then we had to race through the airport to catch our next flight.
We didn't get to see London at all. We were traveling halfway across the world to teach kids animation in Rwanda.
Craig Hatkoff was one of the authors for the book Looking for Misa.
We were his guests, and he invited us to go over to Rwanda with him.
We were invited there to teach the Rwandan kids how to make animations about their mountain gorillas.
Our first stop was Nairobi, the capital of Kenya.
We checked into the Serena Hotel in Nairobi.
The first thing we did was fight over which bed we should sleep in. So Dad had to flip a coin to make things fair.
Heads. No!
Noah wins.
Darn.
Jumbo.
The next morning we got up to head to the airport, but there was a really bad traffic jam.
We were joined by an anthropologist named Dino and the co-author of Looking for Misa, Paula Kuhumbu.
They were coming with us to study the mountain gorillas.
Then we boarded a Kenya Airways jet to go to Rwanda.
After a short layover in Burundi, we flew into Kigali, Rwanda.
They call Rwanda the land of 1,000 hills.
We met lots of people at the airport, but most importantly, we met Beth.
Beth knew everything about Rwanda.
She planned every minute of our trip, and we loved her for it.
Kigali was beautiful. They were right about the hills.
There were motorcycles everywhere, but a lot of cars too.
Our first stop was a press conference where reporters asked about our trip. They asked a lot of questions, and Craig had a chance to explain the reasons for our visit. They even asked us some questions. Next, we piled into a car and drove off into the mountains.
They were really good at stacking things.
People walked everywhere.
Beth gave us all information and history about Rwanda when we traveled to the mountains.
The kids would smile and say hi as we drove by. It's amazing how much of Rwanda is farmland. They even terraced their farms up the sides of the mountains.
There's one of the volcanoes where the mountain gorillas live. Rwanda was beautiful.
Our destination was the Gorilla's Nest Hotel. It was at the base of the mountains where the gorillas lived. We had pizza, but I wasn't so sure about the toppings.
I didn't care what my food tasted like. I was starving. After dinner, we went to our room, and then we found out we had to share a really tiny bed. The next morning, we woke up in paradise.
There were huge trees everywhere, and there was lots of grass on the roof of our hotel room.
We hated to leave the gorilla's nest, but we had a special event to go to. Every year, the Rwandan people have a festival to name the baby gorillas that have been born the previous year.
The mountain gorillas live in the jungles on the volcanoes in Rwanda. The festival's name is Kitazina. Craig and his daughter, Juliana, were special guests at the naming ceremony. This is a big deal, where kids dress up like gorillas.
There's our photographer, Jason. Craig and other people got to dress up in ceremonial robes. People from all around the world came to name these gorillas.
We have chosen the name
Musha.
And Musha means new and symbolizes the creation of a new family, the Isabukura family.
And then the party started. estimated about 50,000 people were there. There's Juliana Hathcott. She was one of the authors for Looking for Misa. There's Rabbi Irwin. He came with us everywhere.
The Kitazina Festival was a great festival, and our next stop was Lake Kivu, which was about an hour away.
Then we arrived at the Serena Hotel on Lake Kivu, where it took them 2 hours to deliver my pasta.
And I won't let it go, so I've been waiting like half an hour. I finally got my pasta, say.
The next day, we stayed in the hotel while my dad and the others went up in the jungle to see the mountain gorillas.
Dad's going to hop in here for a minute. We hiked up the side of the mountain through stinging nettle for about 2.5 hours until we finally spotted a troop of gorillas. Our guides led us right up to a silverback, and they asked us to stay 20 feet back, but the gorillas kept coming closer and closer to us and playing all around us. It was exhilarating. It was just beyond words. We felt like guests in their home, and they tolerated us and were playful and didn't mind us being there at all. Fortunately, I had the video camera on when one of these adult males came up behind us and grabbed Craig by the leg, playfully. And you can't tell how steep the incline is, but he drags Craig uphill here 5 or 6 feet and then lets go and moves on. So we had a truly intimate encounter with the gorillas, and then we went back down the mountain, and here's a shot of us sharing the footage with the kids, and there's Craig at the bottom, who was very happy to be fine. That was quite a jolt to get grabbed by a large gorilla.
After my dad saw the gorillas, we all went back down the mountain to Kigali.
We went to the Rwandan Cinema Center.
Yeah, and we met a lot of kids our age.
And after I had a chance to demonstrate a bunch of animation principles and talk to them about how to develop a story and characters, the kids jumped right in, and they did a great job.
These are like leaves on a tree that I'm going to put on a tree trunk, and then we'll animate them by moving them. I think we spent about 2 days teaching the kids how to animate films about the mountain gorillas.
It was pretty intense once we got into it, but it was actually a lot of fun.
And when we were finished, everyone was amazed.
It's really fun here, and today's our last day, so I really hope we finish our films.
The power of the computer and the power of the camera will give voices to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of kids from Rwanda who now can be part of the world discourse and tell their stories and hear stories from around the world, how people perceive Rwanda. So very empowering, just an opportunity of a lifetime.
Here's a sneak peek of what we call the gorilla-sodes.
Looking for Misa.
This is the story of a silverback gorilla looking for a baby gorilla that was lost.
This is a sneak peek, and we'll show you the website after, so you can go see it, all of it yourself.
Come on, Misa. Time to go home. You can see the full versions on Misa.com.
Check it out.
Our thanks to Craig and Turtle Pond for a great trip.